In this video, we will show you how to replace your front brake flex hose on this Lincoln Navigator. This will be located behind your front wheel. Let's get into it. Okay friends, let's get started on our job. The first thing you need to do is safely raise and support the front of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. Once you've done that, we're going to continue on to removing our center cover. On the center cover, you're going to find that you have a notch cut out where you can use a plastic trim tool and carefully remove it. We'll give this a quick inspection and set it aside. Once you've done that, continue on to removing each of your 5 21mm lug nuts and then the wheel. Now that we have the wheel off of there, let's make our way right over to the bleeder screw. Commonly on this, you'll find that you have a cover of some sort. Remove that cover. We'll give that a little squeeze, make sure it's soft and pliable and not torn, worn, or damaged in any way. We will be reusing it. Continue on to loosening your bleeder screw using a 3/8 socket. It's a good idea to have a collection bucket under this area so you can recycle the fluid properly. Now once I have that bleeder screw broken free, I like to switch to a wrench. Open up the bleeder screw and then make your way into the passenger compartment. We're going to have to hold the brake pedal all the way down to the floor. As we do this, you'll find that brake fluid comes out of this bleeder screw, but once it's on the floor, the fluid stops. Now we can close our bleeder screw. Before we continue removing the flex hose from the area, it's a good idea to make sure that you take the ABS wire out of its mounting brackets that are attached to the flex hose. Just grab it, give it a little tug, and slide it out of position. Now we can make our way to the area of the caliper that the flex hose goes to. Go ahead and clean down this area so you're sure there's no dirt or debris that might make its way into the caliper. Use a 14mm to remove the banjo bolt. While you're taking this off, you'll find that brake fluid comes out of this area. Make sure you have your collection bucket under here. As we remove the banjo bolt and the flex hose from the caliper, you should find that you have 2 gaskets. One in between the flex hose and the caliper, and then the other one is between the head of the banjo bolt and the flex hose. Remove the pair. Inspect your banjo bolt, make sure it's still in good condition, and then clean it down. Set it aside because you will be reusing it. Now let's follow that flex hose up to where it connects onto our steel brake line. Use an 11mm flare wrench to loosen this mounting nut. Let's fully remove that from the flex hose. At this point, you'll find more fluid comes out of the end of the flex hose. Once you have that separated, give it a quick inspection, and then move along to your 10mm headed mounting bolt that holds the bracket for the flex hose to the frame of the vehicle. While removing this mounting bolt, keep in mind it's the last thing holding the flex hose to the vehicle. Quick inspection on that bolt, set it aside. Remove the flex hose from the vehicle. There it is, friends. Okay, friends, it's time to install our brand new front flex hose. Let's start by connecting it to our steel brake line. Make sure you're putting this on by hand so you're sure it's not cross-threading into the flex hose. Once you're sure you have that started in by hand, pause there and continue on to mounting the flex hose to the frame. Tighten your mounting bolt. Now we can make our way back to the fitting that holds the steel brake line to the flex hose. Make sure that's nice and tight. Now we can take the other end of the flex hose and bring it in between the knuckle and the strut. Now let's reattach our ABS wire to the flex hose. This can be a little bit of a tight fit. Squeeze it right in there. Now over on the other side where the caliper is located, we're going to continue on by attaching the flex hose to it. You'll find with your kit it came with 2 brand new gaskets. Take one of those gaskets and put it down and onto the banjo bolt. Now we're going to take the banjo bolt with our one gasket and slide it right on through that flex hose. With that through there, continue on to your next gasket. Now you have one on either side of the flex hose. Continue on by putting this in place into the caliper. Start it in by hand so you're sure it's not cross-threading, and then snug it up. Once you have it snug, torque it to 29 foot-pounds. Now let's make our way into the passenger compartment and remove pressure from our brake pedal. Now it's time to prepare to do a manual bleed. When you do this, it's important to make sure that you check the master cylinder. That's located on the driver's side under the hood. Double check to make sure you're at least close to the maximum line, because as we bleed the brakes, you'll find that the fluid goes down. You're going to need to continuously refill this, keeping it up to par using .3 brake fluid. Now, once you've checked that brake fluid, you're going to have to make your way into the passenger compartment and pump up that brake pedal till it starts feeling firm. This is going to be easiest having a second person. Go ahead and pump up that brake pedal. Now at this point, we can continue on with the manual bleed. To do this, we want to have the person inside of the vehicle holding that brake pedal. We're going to open this, and as we do, fluid and air will start coming out of this. Make sure you have your collection bucket under here. We need to continue this process until you see no air coming out of this bleeder screw. You only want a solid trickle of fluid. Go ahead and pump it. Pump.
Holding.
Now, once you've repeated this process until you have no air coming out of the bleeder screw, go ahead and release that brake pedal and clean your mess. Once it's nice and clean and you're sure the bleeder screw is tight, reinstall your bleeder screw cover. Now that we've done that, let's make our way back up to the master cylinder and top it off with .3 brake fluid. Reinstall your cap, make sure it's secure so no moisture or debris make its way into your braking system. Now at this point, we can reinstall the wheel. Start on all 5 of your 21mm lug nuts and snug them up. Once all of your lug nuts are snug, put your wheel back down on the ground. Torque each of the lug nuts to 150 foot-pounds. Torqued. Install your center cover. Okay friends, we've got the truck back together. At this point, go ahead and pump up that brake pedal till it's nice and firm and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.